We're inside the LPGA tour van, and let's see what the tools of the trade do for the gals on the tour. Welcome to Indianapolis. This is the Women of Technology tournament at the Brickyard Crossing Golf Tournament. Behind me is the LPGA tour van, and what this gentleman does in here is he services all the needs for all the people in the LPGA when the other vans aren't around, which is most of the time. So let's go in and see what he's got. Alright, welcome back. This is not the McGolf shop again, and we are in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Brickyard Crossing Golf Course. And this is unique in that 4 of the holes are inside the Indianapolis 500 track. And just with the looks for looking inside here, it is in phenomenal shape. And the two new unique things about this tournament. One, it's a 3-day. Normally you see 4-day, but this is a 3-day. And the reason being is it's the last one for the year in the U.S. Is that it?
This year, yes.
Yeah, this year in the U.S. and they're all going over to Europe and Asia. So a lot of stuff's getting done in the trailer in order for them to go over there, because I have no idea what kind of support they're going to receive, if any. So they got to be ready to be able to play. So when I got a hold of the LPGA, and they kind of scratching their head why some guy would want to be on the tour van. And I got a hold of Paul. We've been talking for the last couple of weeks now, and it's been a real treat. So what I'm going to do is give you to Paul, and we'll do some kind of question and answers, and we'll just go from there and see how this turns out. So get ready. So let's start with some of the easy stuff. How long you been with the LPGA?
I've been with about 18 years now. Just turned a couple of months ago.
18 years. That's, longevity on the tour is kind of almost an unwritten thing. You don't really see too much of that anymore, do you?
Not in the golf industry as it is nowadays. A lot of movement in the golf industry for the most part, but I've just been fortunate enough to be able to keep this job for this long.
All right, and the tour trailer is now how old again?
This is the 3rd season for this particular trailer.
3rd season for the trailer. So we have all the nice new stuff that gets on it, and it gets maintenance every year, gets taken care of every year, and
absolutely.
And then we get to see the tools. So I'm gonna get behind the camera, and I'm gonna ask him some stuff from the backside, and we'll see what's going on.
As in most cases across, doing maintenance on your clubs, the grips are the main thing for me. This is my grip station that I use. I'm at this thing probably out of a 12-hour day, I'm here 8 hours. It gives me the advantage of being very fast using air clamps to hold the thing in place. It's a pressure sensitive clamp that will not crush a shaft or break a shaft in any form, whether it's really light or really heavy. It gives me a face alignment gauge on the very end of it, and I'm allowed to recycle the fluid, so I'm not using a whole lot of fluid throughout the year. We can make 1 gallon of fluid last 6 months pretty easily.
Nice. Specifically, all the grips you just went through, if you can do that, good grief.
Absolutely. But that's the mainstay of what we do in here. It's more maintenance than it is repair. We call it a club repair trailer, but it's more maintenance than anything else. But it is the one that we use the most of. We actually have 2 stations, one for myself and one for everybody else. That way we can keep things rolling. In the old trailer we used to have just the 1 station, so there was a line up to, so it took a lot of stuff out. It took a lot of time to get your grips done if I was in the way. But this is the mainstay of our thing. The second most popular bit of maintenance we'll do is the Loft and Lies. We have 2 different Loft and Lie machines, one for the putters, one for the irons back over here. This is your standard Mitchell machine, and he's customized it for us this year with our Lpga blue and the decal, but this gets an awful lot of use itself too, just to make sure that we keep the irons in the proper setting for the kids when they're out here. We check them for the most part about once a month if we can get a chance. Some are a little bit more picky and they'll have their wedges for a lot of times checked once a week. But as long as we can keep up with it, we never get anything go too far out of alignments where it's really affecting their game. Because it's so much easier to change a club than it is a golf swing. So we try to stress to them over and over to make sure they get their specs checked at least once a month when they come through.
Cool. And then you said the last bit, and of course that's your, what you said is maintenance, so kind of an upkeep. If they ask you to do any kind of a modification, how, particularly we talked about the Burr King just a little earlier. Do you get much call for that as well, or no?
We do in a lot of cases when players get new wedges and such. There's a lot of them that we've done custom grinds on, and to do that we need a fairly good grinder. This is a miniature version of what they use in the plants. In the plants they'll use a 2-inch job that knocks it out real quick. We go with the 1-inch just because it's a little more compact for the area we have to work with, and it's a lot easier to, since we don't do a big volume of grinding, it's a lot easier to deal with taking a little off at a time. It could be just taking off swing weight, or it could be relieving the heel to be able to open the club face up and keep the leading edge down. But we'll do different grinds for different surfaces too. So it's something that there's no set standard type of grind we do. We do the grinding individually to fit the player for what they're needing.
Perfect. So the that and the other, although he doesn't, it's something that's basically a what I've been observing. Let me do this before we get your next wave of people come in.
You better make it quick.
I know. So I've watched him put on like 8 sets of grips in the first couple hours I've been here, and the one tool that he's been using almost in every one, this guy.
OSHA approved, right?
Oh yeah, every time.
Edit that out.
Every time, right? So that's one of the best ones. So we're getting ready to get busy again. He's got to eat some lunch. So Paul,
good to have you in. Thanks for coming to visit us this week.
Maybe next time I can actually help you.
There you go. We'll see what happens
Okay.
next year.
Thanks
A lot.
Well, after walking around with Mrs. McGolf, I got some, see that, there's his. So after walking around, we got to go inside the actual Brickyard and see the 4 holes, which is the finishing hole. I've got to tell you that number 18 green is going to be a tricky green. There's a couple of sucker placements that I'm sure we're going to see. But the idea was to get onto the tour trailer, and I have to say that it was a pleasant experience. Paul's a real good guy, and he knows a ton about what he's doing. And based on what I'm seeing, I'm fairly confident that we're giving you the same kind of service out there when you arrive at McGolf. So, if you like what you saw, please subscribe, and let's see your scores go low.
Questions, and I'll come up with an answer for you.
We'll freewheel it and we'll see what happens, and we'll be good to go. Yeah, okay. Okay. So, hey.
Okay, we got to
Yep,
for a bit.
yep.
Hi, Dory.
How are you?
Okay, it was real quick. Paul has been extraordinarily busy, so we really didn't get as much good stuff as we wanted, but you did get to see the inside of the van. We're going to try and get a little more out of him. Now we are rolling.
Okay.
The best part
You can
about all
edit
this
all this
is
out, right.
I got post editing.
Attaboy.
I got all kinds of that. Well, let's see. We get back in here. I guess.
Go ahead.
So
It's
we
not formed. Come on in.
Yeah.
You can edit that, right?
Oh, yeah. So